I got a lot of shine.
Welcome to episode 438 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders here with Evan Hollywood Hearn and Mr. Primo in the building, or in the car, shall I say, and Tim Kincaid from AZ. This is Fourth and Jawn, home of the new fan club for just Jahan Dotson, Jamaican.
Hey!
This guy was traded in the middle of the day. If you listen to our last podcast, we got two things right. We got one thing right, one thing wrong. We knew wide receiver 3 was about to be traded to this team. Did we think that the Commanders would be dumb enough to do it for what they traded us? I say us because we're part of the team, obviously. But for a 5th round pick, Jahan Dotson, we also traded a 3rd round pick and 2 multiple draft picks in the 7th round. If you're going to look at the money, I'm just going to say from the money, it makes complete sense. This is a Howie move. It was 1.5, 3.5 the following year, and then we have the 5th-year option since he was drafted in the 1st round. So this makes sense. This trio of Jahan Dotson, Devontae Smith, and AJ Brown could be together for the next couple of years. So I'll leave it to you, Ev. How are you feeling, my guy?
I'm feeling great, even though we, sitting here 48, 49 hours ago, we were sitting here talking about, there's no way that the Washington Commanders could possibly let us have Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson was a guy that was on our radar. It was a guy that we talked about on the show, but we just didn't think that the Washington Commanders would be willing to work within the division like that. But, one thing you really want to think about, or I've been thinking about at least the past couple hours, there's 2 deals that have happened with the Commanders in this offseason since Josh Harris has taken over. Josh Harris obviously owns the Sixers. I'm not sure if him and Howie have crossed paths in their many years of professional team ownership, but maybe there's a line of connection there. And if Howie is exploiting it right now and, taking a little bit of advantage of his friend, so to speak, and Josh Harris so that he can better his team, I'm all for it, dude. Howie Roseman continues to Howie. I think this is a great deal. Honestly, I think it's a great deal for both teams. If you look at it realistically, the Commanders are not in any position to be winning right now. And so them adding in a 3rd round pick, and then you could go out that they could be drafting their wide receiver in the 1st round next year and then have an additional 3rd round pick next year. So you never know how it plays out for them. Who cares? I think they'll be in the basement for a long time anyway. The birds are up though, man. Jahan Dotson is the best trio in the league. Tell me a wide receiver trio that's better than AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jahan Dotson. I'm hyped.
All right. There's nothing to go ahead and compare it to, but I don't even know if there's any need to have a podcast, because everything you said is pretty much on point. Like, it talked about the whole situation. I'm soup too. I'm over here driving, trying to keep my composure, because we talked about it just 2 nights ago that we wanted a wide receiver 3 and we got it. To go back to your statement where did we not think that the Commanders were dumb enough? Yeah, they're dumb. You know what I mean? Not surprised on that move, but listen, the trigger was pulled and now he's an Eagle. Bro, what more can we ask for? This is a trio that's going to go in there and do some serious damage. And like you, Ev, I'm even more hyped up now. I wish the season started. I wish Gail was in Brazil right now. That's how fast I want this shit to get going.
Hey, facts. Well, you know what I love about this trade is he's 24 years old. 2 years off on the contract. So going to be together for a while. Commandees, thank you. Thank you so much. And he wanted to get out of that garbage-ass stadium anyway. Now he's about to come home. And you know what? You know what the beauty about this is? He's a former Nifty Lion.
From Nazareth, PA. From Nazareth,
PA. We got the Nifty Lions on offense. You know what I'm saying? With Saquon. You know what I mean? And then we got the Georgia Bulldogs on the defense. And definitely want to say this. Shout out to what's the coach's name for the Commanders?
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn. Thank you. because you lit a fire under his ass. Because you said the other day in your press conference that the second wide receiver is up for grabs. We don't have a bruh. Listen, he coming to Philadelphia. He go, oh man, we want all that smoke now.
Hey, dude, this is our first glimpse of Dan Quinn inside the division. I mean, looking at him from the outside, my information about Dan Quinn going into this isn't he the guy that blew the 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl? I'm pretty sure that was Dan Quinn. So you got that, you got it mixed in with him in these couple trades that have worked out. I think that are going to benefit the Eagles moving forward. I'm liking this little relationship we got set up right now.
I mean, this trade to me, like, obviously my phone was blowing up. I was trying to, I was on my way to, pick up some merch, obviously, and then phone was blowing up.
Flexing.
Phone.
Flexing. Sexy flexing too. Come on, son.
Phone was blowing up, and I almost swerved off the highway. And I was like, let me just pull off the side of the road. Let me post it on socials. Get that taken care of. And then after that, it was probably 3 minutes of screaming in my car, fist pumping. People were looking at me on the highway. I just feel like this is kind of move you got to make. It's funny. I was getting Rack Shack's information this morning to send out his autograph from our last contest. And we had a good text chat of about 20 minutes of trying to figure out wide receiver 3. We literally sent in spot track contracts and trying to figure out who that might be, and then 15 minutes later, bang, this trade. So I'm just
and dude, you're sitting here geeked. We're sitting here geeked. Think about Jahan Dotson. Look at it from his point of view. I mean, he woke up this morning, and my man was on a team that was supposed to be in a complete rebuild year with a rookie quarterback. What were they going to max out at? Like probably 6-7 wins next year. I don't have high hopes for the Commanders at all. And now you're on a team that is in contention to. I don't see a more top dog in the NFC to go to the Super Bowl.
Hey, but think about this though. You know the crazy part is, you remember last year he had like 10 catches for like $110 against us, right?
Yeah,
he was putting up numbers against us. So he put up some okay numbers. But look at the quarterbacks that he had last year, bro. Like, he has some garbage-ass quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Sam Howell, Carson Wentz, like, terrible run game, terrible offensive line. Like, now he's in a system where he is going to eat, and especially underneath the hood of the Kellen Moore offense with AJ, Devontae, Dallas Goedert, Saquon.
And with all those guys on here, that pressure is taken off. I mean, he was expected to be the number one guy opposite of Terry McLaurin on that team.
Right.
So now you look at it, he's all you need for him to do is contribute. I mean, if you're looking at it at a year-to-year type of thing, we just got a first-round pick for a guy that for the past couple of years has been a fill-in or a 5th or 6th-round pick, whether it was Quez Watkins or, we were going into it with Anaya Smith and Johnny Walker this year, or Johnny Walker, Johnny Wilson this year.
You trying to tell us something?
You all right, bro?
That's my bad. Freudian slip. But the point being is that, like, you look at it at a year-to-year basis, and our wide receiver 3, I'm a lot more confident this year than I have been in years past going into the season.
Oh,
Quezoo.
I mean, age-wise, he's the perfect age in the contract situation where it's like you keep all these guys together for at least 3 years. Like in that 5th year, you don't even have to get him a new contract. You can just give him his value and keep him for another 3rd year if that's the case that may be. But I just think in terms of giving Jalen 3 weapons to work with, great. A guy that can probably play inside and out, has juice from the slot as well. He's a guy that I can see, you put him in a motion, a little wide receiver screen, like the dump offs. He can do all that stuff. And the whole thing about it is he doesn't have to be that guy. We don't need him to be that guy here. We have wide receiver 1 and 1A and 1B locked. It's just a matter of him giving us something over the middle, because that's where he's been successful over the last couple of years. He's not afraid to go over the middle and make those catches. But I think, coming back to PA, I think he actually grew up in the same area where my girl grew up. So it's a lot of people in that area will always talk about Jahan and talk about Saquon. Kind of rhymes. It's all working together. I think this is the greatest. This is the greatest, I'd say, Thursday I've had in a long time. I said, what did I do to deserve this? I think I think it was the news that we all wanted to hear. Correct?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is the one thing I think that we've all kind of came to the conclusion of. At least I know me and Prime did, where the wide receiver 3 it was the biggest need, where we were looking for Howie to make a trade. I mean, obviously with Justin Simmons going to the Falcons, Matthew Judon as well. But those are dreams that are now in the past. But we got that wide receiver 3 that we were looking for. And I can't believe that. I feel like I've been saying this a lot in predictions coming into new Eagles seasons, but this might be one of the better Eagles offenses I've ever seen on paper.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I totally agree with you. And the other thing is, like the other night when we were talking about this, we needed for this to happen ASAP, because we're down to our last preseason game. Whoever it was that was going to come in here had to get their feet wet a little bit to be prepared for that game next Friday. So, I mean, like, it was either yesterday, today, Friday. I mean, we were here just like waiting, but look, I mean, the trigger was pulled again today, and I'm with you, Gail. It's a happy Thursday, bro. Like, I mean, what better news to go ahead and receive than to know that we got our wide receiver 3. Now, we got other options, you know what I mean? Now we're going to go see, do we keep 5? Do we stay with 4? What? Where we at on the wide receiver end?
Hey, this is the thing though. We're gonna have to add. We gotta redo the whole 53. I feel like we need to redo it because hold on. You ready? Going? See, y'all disrespectful, bro. Y'all just going just throw my man away like that.
What's up?
You're super disrespectful, Gail. Is it the jacket? Is it the jacket? The jacket just changed you to a different person?
I'm just saying. What is Paris gonna do? Does he do special teams?
Yes, he can. He can contribute to the special teams.
Can he stay healthy?
Yeah, that's the downfall. Well, I will say this though: there's one more position that can be upgraded, and I don't think it's going to be necessarily a trade. I think it's going to be you're cutting down your 53-man roster, and you're going to pluck somebody off somebody else's roster, and that position. I'm not sitting saying that I'm a Calcaterra hater. Tight end. That can be another position on the offense side that you can upgrade to make this offense be more. I mean, can we? Am I being greedy? Because I
think you're being a little bit greedy, bro.
Am I being greedy? All right, I'm bad. Let me humble.
Yeah.
We got to get the ball. We got to get the ball to Goddard before we start worrying about getting touches out the Calcaterra.
But see, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. No, I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead. My fault.
Man, it's going way off topic.
Like
talking about what? Go ahead.
No, I was saying that is the truth about the fact that we got to get the ball to Goddard. But I mean, like, bro, we were at the open practice. We saw how good he looked. You saw the attention that he is trying to gain himself in this upcoming season. And I mean, just think about it. Now you got 1, 2, 3 weapons. You got 4 with Saquon. You know what I mean? Like, that's 4 people that are definitely going to go ahead and draw so much attention that there's no way possible Dallas Goedert doesn't get like the yards like crazy this year. I mean, think about it. I mean, like,
I'm thinking of two set tight ends. I'm thinking like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking of. So
my thing is about the weapons. It's not numbers wise. It really, to me, they really all have to be locked in on just getting dubs right now. Because I mean, there's so many guys that can eat on any given Sunday now that, like, your wide receiver, I say your CB 3, 4, are they good enough to cover a Dotson because your CB2 is not even good enough to cover Devontae.
That's what I was literally about to say. I mean, when you're going to be bracketing AJ Brown with your 1 and 3 cornerbacks, and then you got Devontae, or safety. I mean, like that's just going to be a mismatch for I think Jahan Dotson honestly has a chance to eat this year. I mean, he's been pretty consistent. You look at his stats in his career. I think he put together like 2 500-yard seasons with like 5 and 7 touchdowns apiece. But I mean, I think that in this offense, he could beat those numbers as a wide receiver 3.
I think it'll be tough. I think he's going to have those splash plays is what we need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, those splash plays.
Well, I mean,
the
field. 1 year he averaged almost 15 yards a catch. So, I mean, he has definitely had those splash plays
I think
for them.
In the seams, definitely will be effective. He scored a touchdown against us last year in the seams on your boy Sidney Brown.
I'm excited to see Kellen Moore just kind of move the wide receivers around a lot more rather than what we were doing last year, man, and just locking guys in place. I mean, do you guys think that there's a lot of talk, at least online, they're talking about different ways that you could deploy this. Do you think that Smitty gets any time in the slot, or what do you think?
I think it's going to interchangeable, yeah. I mean, even AJ time in the slot, but I think
AJ would dominate in the slot.
I think they all have that ability to be versatile, but I think people are excited. And Cool Tone says now all we are waiting for is Reddick to be released and coming home. Can I dream like Primo?
No. You're being greedy. I was told I was being greedy. You're being greedy. Humble. Be humble yourself.
But what's nice is you look at the Dotson money. You look at the Dotson money, and like it's not going to cost you much, so you still got some money to play with here.
So, but do you think the compensation for the Commanders was a fair deal? A third and 2 7s?
I think so.
They traded away 7
throwaways. In my
earlier this year, so they had 7 back.
At the same time, I think they're just building up draft picks because for what I'm hearing, they're really going to go hard after Brandon. See if they could go ahead and swipe him up.
Oh yeah, for sure. They definitely got the ammo to go get Ayuk. Yeah. They got the ammo. I will say this though, to see that what everything is transpiring with us, and the Cowboys just signed Linval Joseph, which is crazy to me. Seeing this happen now that we're 8 days away, right, and then 2 weeks into boom, we're in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about this offense now? Like, I'm like, what is going through your minds, fellas? I got to know. And on top of that, everybody, and this is Gail's favorite word, everybody eats, B. Everybody eats.
I mean, and then you got an actual experienced coordinator on top of it that's calling the shots. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that this is a recipe for. You look at it on paper. This offense should break some records, man.
Yes,
Eagles records.
That's exactly what I was just getting ready to say.
I just want to do that.
Record-breaking season, but on top of that, what is Kellen Moore? What's going through Kellen Moore's head right now?
Thank you,
he must be in heaven.
He got toys.
Yeah, it's like on Christmas Day when you go to your tree and you got more gifts than you expected, and then you got hit with the Nintendo 64 and you turn a Nintendo 64 kid. Like, yes. I cannot believe. I mean, I've been pitching myself for a while in terms of like thinking about what we have. Like even Jahan Dotson had put up had quote tweeted the graphic of Saquon, Jalen, AJ, and Devontae in Dallas, and he was like, "What is this? A roster like one of those Madden Edition Ultimate Teams, whatever." And now he just added himself to that team. Like he really memed himself into existence because now he's on this squad where this was like the icing on the cake, because obviously the last pod we were just sitting there like, wide receiver has to be coming at this moment. And here it came. Perfect trade. Like you think about CJ when we brought him in 2 years ago and we brought him in right back into the summer, and it was like the piece that we needed. This is the piece that we needed.
100%, man. 100%. I mean, I think I don't see how, like, I think there's a possibility where, he doesn't have the career year that I'm expecting him to yield in this offense, which I think is totally possible for him. But I mean, you look at how he did and what the compensation was. This was the right move to do. I mean, you shored up that wide receiver 3 position. What else is Howie supposed to do?
And you talk about like, bro, I'm so soup just to go ahead and update my roster on Madden tonight. Like, it's crazy.
I might even buy Madden today just for the.
I can't wait to update that roster. Like, holy shit! Like, yeah. This is some shit you dream about putting together, and look, it's just facts. Like, it's happening.
You couldn't even make this trade in the game if you tried. But
nah, you're right. You couldn't. Yeah.
He did have some return experience at Penn State. Do you think that the Eagles plan to use him at all in that respect, or do you think we have enough going on?
Maybe back up. But
I don't know. Me personally, I think we got enough going on already in there, and I wouldn't risk it. You know what I mean?
Covey's good, bro. Covey is good. Like, lock it in. Covey's good. Someone's got to play special teams of this unit, and if it's not like we need to put one of these guys on the gunner, but like, I mean, obviously Johnny Wilson probably good. I think Anais Smith. I'm wondering where the team is at with him. Obviously, him coming off an injury, I still think he's getting back to his senses in terms of where he's at with the injury. Having his best practice his last practice was the best practice that he's had all camp. But again, I told this. I forget. I talked to so many Eagle fans that said, I really am not here for a development of really anybody this year. This year is I think I was talking
about winning Super Bowls.
I was talking about to Perkins actually. We were talking, and I said, at this given point, this roster is in win mode. So there can be no complaining about touches. There can be no half-assing it. There's so many different ballers on this team. Like, you either get on or get off, because this train's trying to go to a Super Bowl. For a Super Bowl run, and if you're not there, and again, I'm not worried about like the development of some younger player, not because I'm a dick at the moment. I'm just saying this is a win now.
We're not going to contribute this year. I mean, we got ballers that are ready to contribute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I mean,
I totally agree with you both.
Yeah, and I mean, like, one thing that I feel like we haven't been given the luxury of in years past is depth. And you just look across each position group. I mean, think about the years of, Cravon LeBlanc and Carrie Williams and just dude. And we went through a rough period at cornerback. And now we are looking at these cornerbacks on this roster. Like, there's going to be good guys we have to cut. You know what I mean? There's going to be talented dudes that are probably going to get swooped up, but we just simply don't have the space for you on our roster. And to have that kind of depth there, to have, and God forbid, if something were to go down with AJ Brown or Devontae Smith, I mean, to have two solid options at wide receiver still, that's huge, man. The defensive line rotation is great. The offensive line has all pros and future Hall of Famers on it. It's a team ready to win.
It's lining up perfectly for us, bro.
Yep.
Heather asks, when was the last time you all felt this good about the season?
I feel like every year, man. How it gets me excited like this every year. Past few years at least.
Yeah.
Is it hit different right now?
I wouldn't say it hits different. What I would say is it's becoming a new norm for us Eagle fans, that our GM goes out there day in, night out, and goes, what can I do to upgrade this roster? What can I do to uplift this city, this fan base? That's what I love about Howie Roseman. He's not content. He's gonna make that move.
There's always room for improvement.
There is, and like he said it in an interview a couple months ago. He said, I wake up every day and I look at the wire, the waiver wire, and I go, what can I do with this person? How can I make this team better? Like they want me, they feel me, they know what I want to do.
Mhm.
So I must do it. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I gotta give me a Howie. I gotta get a Howie jersey now.
Janae chimes in. She says, Heather G, dare I say 2017. Howie doing the same thing, putting all these puzzle pieces together to make a dominant team. And I think any GM that's willing to, like Tim said, be aggressive and, work the wire and really just, I feel like, when somebody has, I've always talked about Howie in terms of like building this team as a house. Like before we had like the front fortified on that Super Bowl roster, but we had the side doors.
No locks.
And Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills. It was like, yo, we need to fix those locks. So I feel like this team, I mean, we fixed the locks on the doors. I think in the interior, in depth wise, like, can we work on that? That's something we're all, we're talking about a DT, veteran DT. We saw Linville Joseph sign with the Cowboys. Do we need one more piece? Do we dare I say, take a page out of Evan Hearn's book and trade for Aaron Donald? I remember everyone's talking about Aaron Donald. Like, whatever you need to do, Howie, at this moment, go ahead and do it. Because I'm not here for some. I'm not here for like the next move that you make. I mean, we have opportunities going into trade deadline. There's a move that can be made, obviously, but
we can recoup that 3rd round pick. I mean, Howie does stuff like that every year. Yeah, dude.
Darren G says, let's not forget Dotson has 4.43 speed too. So now we have both him and Smitty that can take top off of defense. I mean, bro, it's just pick your poison, man. You got Goddard on the seams. You got Dotson on the seams. You got him on option routes. Then you got to worry. This is it. A.J. Brown. He's killing a squad with slants. Oh, he does that normally.
Mm-hmm.
They start bracketing him, showing some attention, taking a safety out of the box. There we go. Inside zone, Saquon. He's eating you up. You could do play action. You could throw back to Saquon on these running back screens. You got the pony looks that you could deploy. Trips is going to look bananas.
I agree with what you're saying, but it's all about how it gels throughout the season. I mean, I'm not trying to be the wet blanket thrower, but I mean, you brought up the year we won.
You are.
Hear me out.
Oh,
you
man,
brought up the
screaming at the cloud. 29-year-old old man screaming at the cloud. What are you going to say?
Wait. Yo, what's up, yo?
Hey,
let me get my words out, and then you could judge it. All right.
Ew.
So the year that we won the Super Bowl, you were talking about Ronald Darby, you're talking about Jalen Mills, right? That was the year we won the Super Bowl. Would you argue that the year that we lost the Super Bowl recently, we had a better defense and a better team overall?
I would, yeah. We had a better.
I would.
We also had a better field to play on, as well.
Okay. Well, regardless. I'm just getting at the fact that I think we had a better team the year that we lost the Super Bowl. So it really just comes down to how your chemistry is as a team.
It's
like
true.
You need to keep it together. You could have all the talent in the world, but if you got a bunch of guys that hate each other, it's not gonna work out.
Very true.
You gotta play for each other.
That's very true. I mean, we had a person that hated the team's success, and that was Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
But that shit was still moving. With nobody care, with no sidetrack.
We got Jerome talking, why is our wide receiver 3 better than the current Cowboys wide receiver 1? I mean, if CD ever shows up, but I wouldn't in this situation. I would not show up till he got his money. Jimmy says Prime looking like LL Cool J doing a music video. Alexis says, does this trade mean the end of the road for John Ross? I'll put on Boys to Men right now.
Yeah, cue Boys to Men on that one right there.
Yeah.
And again, we love the Reclamation Project. We love the story. again, this is not about anyone personally. This is me. This is we are going to battle, and we need the best wide receiver 3 in the house. We're not nickeling diming the wide receiver 3. They threw some money at it, just like they threw money at linebacker, just like they threw money at CJ to come back. They are all in. They threw money at the cornerback position because it became a little butt ass. And now here we are, just like Rome says, we got a squad, boys. And again, you got to be proud of Howie, man.
Hell yeah, we proud.
And just like how Gail just said, Gail ain't playing no games. I ain't doing this shit for shit and giggles. I'm out here, B.
This could be one of the most epic seasons ever. This makes you want to show up to every game if that's possible. I don't know how Nady does it. I don't know how he does it, or some the Philly sports
Jamie
guys of the world do it, or I don't know how we do it sometimes, but we try to show up. But how could you not miss a game this year?
I tell you what, this makes me excited for, man. I mean, I know that we've been privileged the past few years. I mean, we've been calling guys out on the show for being greedy. But what I kind of missed that we didn't have last year in all that winning, I want the blowouts back, man. I want to blow some teams out of the water. And I think that this offense, I think that what's pause about blowing teams out of the water?
No, I'm saying Evan's just like, I want to curb stomp people. I don't just want to win. I want to
drop bombs, bro. No, I do. Think about the year we won the Super Bowl, bro. Think about we were rolling the Denver Broncos. Yeah. Yep. You know what I mean? That was one of the best defenses in the league, and people would talk about wait till this big bad Eagles offense goes up against the Denver Broncos. Then what? We dropped a 50 burger on their head, and then we put the NFL on notice, and we won a Super Bowl that year. I want some blowouts. I think this offense could do it.
You want? I mean,
my bad. I thought you said something else. My bad.
No, I like the idea of like showing, like when you could easily put the kill switch on a team and make it look easy, and then people in the end zone doing dances. That was a vibe. Gary asked, he says, what's up, fellas? So excited for the season. Offense loaded for real, but do you guys think we might still add an edge before week 1?
I think the trades are probably done with at this point. I agree with what Tim said earlier. I think that you got the 53-man rosters cuts coming up. I think what would probably make the most sense is you just go and grab some guy that just wasn't able to fit in on another squad. I think what ends up happening. I see it happen.
Coach Walker says this roster is built so Smith and Wilson develop without being thrown in fire. I mean, I'm totally let these guys develop. I don't know if you can put one of those guys on the practice squad. I think both of them will get plucked. I think if they do decide to carry 6, then they really do believe in Smith's development and where you can get to.
Do you think that they end up having a phantom injury with Smith?
Potentially.
Possible. Yeah, possible.
He might slip on the some water on the floor by the kitchen, maybe. Something. Fly Eagles 39 asks, any concerns with right guard or edge? Mekhi Becton, he said he was dealing with general soreness, so that everyone, that little scare that he had, he said he's good. This is his new normal. He said, he's ready to go. I just want Steen to get healthy. That ankle has me a little concerned from being in the trenches. I think dealing with, I don't know how bad that ankle is. That's my only concern. I think Cam's going to be all right.
Yeah, I think as far as right guard, I'm actually feeling pretty comfortable right now between Becton and between Steen. I think that we have 2 guys that can definitely fill that gap. As far as edge is concerned, I think one thing that is kind of being undersold this year is Jalix Hunt's role in this rotation. I mean, because if you look at just how this whole defensive edge situation is set up, you got Nolan Smith, you got Josh Sweat, you got BG, you got Jalix Hunt. I think that Jalix Hunt is going to have kind of a bigger role in this defense than people really think he is going to going into the season. And I mean, what's coming out of practice, honestly, like I've heard that he's been one of the fly under the radar steals out of the draft. So if he can perform and live up to that, that'll be huge. But I mean, I agree that edge is one of those positions where I'm kind of eyeballing right now. I don't know what to make of it.
I see him riding the same wave that Sweat did when he first came into the league. I mean, he was that one that was quiet, ended up coming out and destroying shit. Like, so I mean, it's either going to be the same wave or he's going to go ahead and ride the wave even higher. So, yeah, I mean, we seen the kid in person. We know what it's about, and again, we can all agree that it's those quiet school players that come out and really blow it up in the league.
Yeah.
So, I think Hunt's going to be good. But listen, I got a fantasy football draft to get to, fellas.
What pick you got?
What
pick you got?
What do you pick?
I don't know. That's why I got to hurry up and get over there because they're doing they're picking the numbers.
We'll make it proud.
But yeah, happy Thursday, man. Look, we did our thing. How we did it for us. We're gonna go ahead and ride this wave just as well. So
you drafted Jahan Dotson?
Hey, now I got 3 options. So you know what I mean.
There you go. Hey, yo, before you leave though, happy anniversary to you and your lovely wife.
I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all. All right. I'll holler at y'all. All
right, LL. Light skin LL. Corey says, "What a time to be an Eagles fan. Let's effing go." Rome says, "Imagine being on defense and looking across the line of scrimmage and seeing talent at every position. Has to be intimidating, especially the moment someone goes in motion." Think about it, man. You see, I mean, it's just so much. It's going to take a lot of eye discipline on the other side of the ball to actually, the gap integrity, just to make sure you're in your gaps. Because if you move, if you're not, Saquon will cut back on you.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Saquon
will take off on you.
The options are endless. I mean, Saquon even catching the ball out of the backfield, like. There's many different ways that you can attack teams. And like one of the things that I really hope ends up playing out this year is that I would kind of not mind a low pressure situation out of the NFC East. I mean, you look at the landscape right now and the Cowboys, we just got Jahan Dotson as our wide receiver 3. Their wide receiver 1, I don't think has even showed up yet still to a practice. And so that's a complete mess over there. They got players that are holding out. You look at the Reds, you look at the Commanders, they just traded away Jahan Dotson. So I think that they're kind of, without saying it, throwing in the towel this year. Not that he was going to make or break the season, but I'm saying they know that they're not in a win now mode and they're building for the future. So they're in that transitional period. And then you got the Giants, who are the Giants. So like, I think that the NFC East right now, it's the Eagles' division to lose. And as long as you can just beat the teams you're supposed to beat, which is pretty much everyone in the league with this roster, I think that I'm hoping that the walk to the division should be a breeze this year.
Shout out to Jawn.
I mean, that's the thing though. Like it's always the high expectations, and then it's that little itch behind that makes you think like, oh man, please. But there's no way with this talent on his offense. Come on. I mean, we have celebrities that are bad. We got Wale. You got Kevin Durant. Like they hot as hell right now. It's like if those 2 names right there. And matter of fact, for people that don't know who Jahan Dotson, please go check out highlights on YouTube of him, and that will tell you everything.
I know you're a Penn Stater, so you've seen him do damage over the years. But shout out to the McCabe family, Joan. The McCabe family has done damage at tailgates over the years. Coming down from northeast to come catch the Browns. Always good to see y'all in the building. Wow, man, these comments. I'm trying to keep up.
Appreciate y'all.
Darren says, I see Evan's point. His chemistry in that locker room matters 100%. I think. And this is where I go back to, and again, all the intel that we got, and some of it we shared, a lot of it we didn't. But all the intel that we got over the last year, and just thinking about like whatever you could interview every single Eagle player on that roster last year and probably get the same vibe. It doesn't matter anymore. Like this is a new season, but you all know, right? Shit happened, right? But you all know that they all went through it. So they went the year before they went to the Super Bowl. The next year they weren't in sync. They weren't, what were those coaches and players gelling correctly? That didn't work. So they everybody in that whole damn building knows what happened. So now moving forward.
Well, that was one of the things that I loved that came out of training camp was I forget who was the one that had made the initial quote, and honestly who even responded, but it was someone that had came onto the team this year. I'm not sure, maybe it was Saquon, but someone was newly acquired, and they looked at just the open practice and all that, and they were like, I can't believe that this is, or I can't believe that people are going this hard for a practice, and he was like, yeah, no, there's no, the way things ended last year, there's no days off. Essentially what they were saying. So I love that mentality.
I feel like Jahan Dotson is like Eddie Murphy in Coming to America when he lands in America and he's in Brooklyn. Happy to be here. Like, hello, neighbor. Like, he's very happy to be here. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. He went from, did you see the stadium?
Yes. F you too.
He's happy to be here. He's happy to be here. Now the man he gets Super Bowl, and then he's like, the man got his own money. Coming open, I Believe Green says, I just love that we locked up our top receivers and got Saquon, and Cowgirls can't even lock up their best players. I love wallowing in their misery. Again, you don't like to, on social media, people always look at other people's thing and they start comparing. Like the Cowboys are looking across their socials and they're comparing themselves to the Philadelphia Eagles. Would you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, you're sizing yourself up, and you look position by position. I mean, one of their big selling points this year is what is Zeke's back. They're supposed to get excited.
I don't want your money touching my money. I don't want your money touching my money. That's how this could be right here.
We got one of the best running backs in the league. They're trying to sell Saquon Barkley being back. I'm sorry. They're trying to sell Zeke Elliott being back as he's going to save their offense. He wasn't even a starter in New England on an awful New England offense. He couldn't even find starting time. So, good luck with that one. It's a good nostalgia story, but I really think the Cowboys are cooked, bro. I think the Cowboys are like floating around a 500 football team this year.
They always surprise, but I do think they have some inner turmoil going. I did, talk about inner turmoil. I did go watch some of the Commander content creators to gauge the vibe. And they like I'm Awake, Are You's comment. He says Dotson was a shocker. He said that was a shocking trade. They said they didn't see that one coming. They just were shocked at the way it happened. And they were basically saying that, when players get traded off, sometimes, Commander fans will be like, try to shit on their grave on the way out. They're like, no, the dude was good. The dude showed flashes. He struggled a little in preseason, but the fact that he was traded, they were more upset with the idea of him being traded up 95 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, of all teams in the NFL, you couldn't have got a third round from anyone else in the NFL that you had to trade with Howie of all people and give us an affinity stone.
Do you think that there's anything to what I said in the beginning with Josh Harris now being it's now 2 trades?
I thought about that. I thought about that. I was like,
it's 2 trades since Josh Harris took over this offseason.
It could be a Philadelphia connection. Because you still want Eagle players on the sideline for them Sixers games. So I don't know. It could be. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was shocked, and I was just like, I called Gail because I got the word and I was just like, Gail. It happened. It happened. It was just I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Adrian says we're set at edge. I keep saying, how about another safety? Ev, you want another safety? You good? You want to hold back?
If the deal's right, then yeah. I just don't want to. I feel like Howie has got it good right now. It's like when you're making a good sauce. You know what I mean? And you don't want to add too much salt. You don't want to add too much and spoil it. I think that where we're looking right now, it's tasting pretty good, bro. And so if you could add something and spice it up a little bit more, it might work out perfect. But it's a risk. I like how we look right now. Safety, I mean, if you can get more depth, I can't believe the depth that we have on this team, if I'm being real with you. I mean, you think about it from position to position. Obviously, there's positions that are deeper than others, but dude, this is a deep football team across the board. Like, I'm confident.
Shout out to Mark in the building. Tailgate goers. Man, I still can't believe that the season is like literally like 2 weeks away.
You leave for Brazil in a week, right?
Next Friday. It's funny.
8 days, yeah.
If Amanda,
are you ready?
I would have broke out the Brazilian money. I got the reals already, so I was like, oh god, I got Brazilian money right now.
Is it all? Does it look cool? Is it all?
Yeah, it looks cool.
Fancy?
I'll show.
What's the first thing that you're going to do when you land in Brazil? Like, what do you have? Do you have a plan? Have you been watching YouTube videos? Like, where to go?
I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on Brazil.
Yeah. I was excited to watch YouTube videos.
Watching the scam videos. Been watching because there's a lot of fake news out there about situations. But and again, you just gotta really just be on your toes. I mean, I worked in New York City for 24 years. You just got to be on your toes everywhere because shit happens everywhere. I was at my desk and I saw the planes hit on 9/11.
Right.
Shit goes down everywhere. So if you talk about seeing some shit,
I don't know how we got the 9/11.
Oh, I'm just saying. People are like afraid of every. I was like, how much bad shit has happened in New York City? Like,
yeah.
Brazil, obviously.
Speaking of bad stuff that's happened in New York City, I mean, Jordan McGee talks about how we stole Saquon from the Giants. Now we take Jahan Dotson. He wants to steal something from the Cowboys. You forget about Will Greer?
Howie season. Will Greer.
Yo, Jordan wants the Micah Parsons salad. Added a little.
Yo,
sprinkle in a little Micah Parsons in there.
Like one more trade. One more trade. Could you imagine?
See, we being greedy. That's the problem.
My
one thing I do need though, I'm gonna need Will Greer to give up that 13 because I think the
Will Greer is gonna give up the entire
thing, bro. I need you to give that up. And I need McPherson. I need 27. You can get on the team if you make the team, but I need Quinyon to have number 27. That belongs to him.
McPherson fits in here either.
I'm just saying. I'm being polite.
Todd says, I believe in what Slay was saying too. Our defense is gonna hold teams to 17 or less after starting slow in training camp. I've heard the defense has been dominating the offensive late. I do think our corners, the way we're set up, I think we're gonna have a feisty group, man. Those guys are speed demons too.
If I'm looking at I still have the list from Tuesday up of all of the guys that from the 53-man roster, and I'm just looking at it by position group. If I'm being real with you, if there's one position group right now that I feel like we could add something to, it's defensive tackle. I mean, you got Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, and then you got Milton Williams, who we've said time and time again, got to prove something this year. Davis is on the same sort of thing. Marlon, Gail, Tupelotu. He has shown flashes in the past couple years, but how much can you rely on him? Same with Moro Jomo, same with Thomas Booker. I think that once you go beyond Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis,
Milton,
I don't know. I wouldn't mind throwing another body in there.
What are your feelings on Milton?
I don't know what to think of Milton. We're entering another year where I'm kind of saying this is a make or break it year for Milton Williams. So I feel like Jordan Davis is on the same sort of thing. If we had more depth at defensive tackle, I think that's the one position I'd be looking at.
Shout out to Ryan, says, let's go, boys. Fly, Eagles fly. Rock the Artist is in the building. He says, what's up, fellas? Howie is not playing. No, he's not. He's not playing. He's not playing with you weak-ass GMs. First-year GM. He's letting you know that.
Yo, I just thought of something. Remember that trade? We just traded with them to get Coop.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about the Josh Harris thing.
Yeah.
I was like, we got multiple trades.
So think about that. So we just got that, right? And then you remember they played it and they played the mic'd up. He said, you know what, Howie, you're a pain in the ass. Hey, pain in the ass worked out so far.
Yeah.
Dylan says the belief in the young defensive players is encouraging as well. Go Birds from Boise. I do think I think you got a nucleus and all the I don't know why y'all feel like you need to talk about trading Slay. What Slay has done for these young guys, it's provided them a veteran who is open and willing to give them all the answers to the test. I don't know if any Eagle fans that are not close to around the Philadelphia area, this guy gives the knowledge to all the young high school athletes out here, trains everyone. He's an open book, and I think the fact that you have these guys learning from him, the fact that Avonte Maddox is teaching Quinyon Mitchell everything about the slot, you have a nucleus for this group. It started with, even on the offensive line, talk about Jason Kelsey, Landon Dickerson, and Malata, learning from him, and Lane Johnson and Brandon Brooks. Every year it trickles down. We have a new guy stepping up, and I think also CJ Chauncey.
Yeah, your mic. Yeah, I mean, another masterclass offseason by Howie Roseman. I mean, one of the things that he had said, I'm not sure if it was this past offseason or a few off seasons ago, is that he's got the Super Bowl. Now he's trying to get himself in the Hall of Fame as a GM. And, we got to see how this one plays out. Obviously, before any snaps are played, all of the hope and all of the dreams are still alive. I mean, you look at the Jets last year. They had Aaron Rodgers going into the year, and then all of a sudden the first drive, season's over. You just hope everything can work out. But as it's set up right now, Howie did absolutely everything he can to put together a Super Bowl roster. So I'm hyped heading into the year.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I can say is if you're the opposing of the team and you're going against this offense, you can't hide.
Yeah, you got Gale.
You're going to get exposed today.
How were you saying?
Say what?
I'm reading.
Gale's getting himself scared about.
If Ev knows, I don't know.
Gale don't like traffic.
I don't know what. I'm more scared of the traffic than I am of having. I was like being stuck in traffic, bro. I hate it.
Gale will wait for. We've gone up to the MetLife a few times, and he will wait for the traffic to clear out of MetLife Stadium before we get on there. Which, I mean, you're just gonna be sitting in bumper to bumper anyway.
Dog, Gale almost made me late to my flight. I'm going home, right? After the game, he's like, "Yo, Tim, come on, let's go." I'm like, "All right, cool." He's like, "You know what? Let's just chill." I'm like, "Gale, I have to be in my flight in like 2 hours, B." No, you got time. You're good. You got time. You're good.
EC1 football in the house. He said, "Let's effing go."
Sure.
Yeah, the code is getting mad love today.
You keep flexing.
Man, you over here flexing this shit. Damn.
Bro, I didn't drive all the way up there for nothing. Shout out to Trey. I was looking at the highlights from Penn State today,
and if you're sitting there thinking about too, you're looking at his stats in the NFL and you're getting yourself discouraged. I mean, think about the situation. I mean, who was throwing to him? He was the wide receiver 3 on that team, and he was still able to garner 500 plus yards and all these touchdowns. I saw a stat. He's got more touchdowns. He entered the draft class same year as Drake London, Chris Olave. He's got more touchdowns than both those guys.
Oh, so he was part of that draft class.
Yeah. Yeah, what drafted what?
So that means
right before
he was drafted 16th overall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what that means? They did a lot of homework on Dotson as a person, fitting in the locker room, all that background, all that medicals.
Well, yeah, and he's from Nazareth to begin with. I mean, he's he's a stone's throw from Philadelphia. So you know, it's already kind of assumed that he's familiar with the culture as is.
Andy says, "What's up, y'all? Yo, Dotson makes such a difference in this offense. Our top 3 can be in motion, and all 3 of them are just fine. Ending up anywhere in the formation, so dope. The move is wild. When you think about how we were last in the league in use of motion, like one of the last lowest rated teams using motion, the fact that we were like years of saying run the ball when we said team should have run the ball, years of saying where's the motion, and now we have a guy that's willing to sprinkle in some motion with the players that we have. This is why, like, I'm like, preseason, I don't give a rat's ass, and you're talking to the guy who loves the back end of the roster. I can give a rat's ass. Let's move forward to this game.
So I mean, before we move forward to the regular season, I mean, you talk about Jahan Dotson getting up to speed. How much playing time you giving him in this preseason game? You letting him? Huh?
None.
You're not letting him get anything?
I don't really need to say anything. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Tim, let's disagree together here. Get him some snaps, bro. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?
What a couple reps in the offense. Yo, what are
stand up to the man here, Tim. Stand up to the man. That's dumb.
What are a couple reps in an offense that is not even the offense that they're running? You're getting like bare basics, Madden 101, like wide receiver 3, like 11 personnel. Like, you're not even getting what we're running.
Listen, I'm gonna take the smart approach. Control the situation.
I got you. You put it more in a controlled situation.
If you listen to Britton Covey in his last interview, Britton Covey, he said, talking about the offense, he's like, well, we're not showing anything. We're not running anything that we actually run. So when people are like, he needs to get more reps in an offense that we don't run. So it's like he's already had a couple preseason games. He's played more in more preseason games than half the starters in our offense have played in yet. Our starters haven't played in preseason, so he should be okay.
He's definitely started, and he's definitely a starter.
He should be okay. Danny says, "Bro, how you gonna guard this offense for real? I mean, only thing can stop us this year is ourselves." Yeah. Hashtag stacked.
I agree.
Yep,
That's why I said it comes down to chemistry, man.
Yeah, but it's fundamentals. Let's keep the fundamentals at hand. Remember why you are here. Let's do that, because last year, a lot of guys weren't playing by the fundamentals. They were just playing just to play and try to, it was kind of just like, I'm doing my own thing. I'm hoping that Nick is the CEO coach, and he is pounding and letting, hey, listen, this is a team sport. You cannot win, but with it's team and fundamentals. Keep the prize ahead of you. Keep it.
Mm-hmm. First of all, I wanted to give a shout out to Philly Sports Trips. If you guys are looking to take a trip, there's many trips. I'm going to start with the first, and I'll let Ed talk about the second round of trips. But the first round of trips, if you're not trying to go to Brazil, then you can go to New Orleans. Angelo Catali will be with us in New Orleans. It's gonna be a dope ass trip. The Birds take over in Tampa. The one and only Brian Dawkins will be with us with Philly Sports Trips. It's gonna be amazing. The Bird takeover in New York. A lot of bus rides will be. A lot of buses from the Link will be joining to head up to the Link. And
The MetLife.
Oh, the Link, yeah, MetLife, and brag about having Saquon as we go to MetLife and take over. And then the Birds take over in Cincinnati. Should be an awesome trip with Irving Fryer.
Yes, and heading into Dallas next, Birds take over, and that's going to be with Jeremiah Trotter, senior. It's going to be out there. That takes off November 8th, November 22nd. I'm not sure if that's before. I think that's right before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
The Birds are going to be taking over Los Angeles with Shady McCoy. I mean, that's going to be an awesome time, dude. Last tailgate we had out in LA, it was huge. The food was awesome. Vince really did it up. I got a great picture of Gail getting a picture over top of a porta potty. That made the highlight for me. Birds take over Baltimore. That's going to be right down 95. It's going to be an awesome game for sure. You're going to check that one out. This December 1st. And then to round it all out, one of the biggest tailgates of the year, every year, away game is going to be Birds take over Washington. That's right before Christmas on December 22nd.
Cold ass game. Game. Yeah, man. It's so weird, man. It's so weird. So weird.
I mean, I see Anthony bringing up Mechie and some of the other names that were tossed out there. Kind of blanking on them right now, but I know Mechie was one of those guys that was talking about
Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen wouldn't have
Way
been
better.
a bad addition. But Jahan Dotson, I'm happy, man. I'm happy with what we got. I would take him over a lot of the guys that were mentioned.
Yo, Jerome with the traffic posts. Jerome, you got to give me a call. We need to talk about the traffic. Snacks on the highway.
If they got King's Hawaiian rolls out on the highway, Gail's all of his wares will go away.
That's a top 10 road trip food. Road trip food. Shout out to Wick One. He said we will see you guys in New Orleans and LA. West Coast Birds misses you, bro. We miss the West Coast. We talk about the West Coast Eagle fans. Shout out to the West Coast Hoop Nation and Aaron and the crew over there.
You guys out in LA for sure.
A lot of amazing Eagle fans out on the West Coast.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of amazing Eagle fans on the West Coast. Finally caught up to the comments, man. Sorry if I didn't get to you guys on time. Keith says, first time watching. We talking about traffic, man.
Not the franchise.
Guys play in the league. We talking about practice, man.
Welcome, Keith. Welcome.
Bro, I do the Allen Iverson impression all day long.
Yo, best conference ever. Like meltdown, loved it.
Franchise play in the league. We talking about practice.
Yeah. Him and Herm. and Danny Green. Was it Danny Green? Coach Green? We thought we knew who they were. Oh man, that was
and we let them off the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Darren G says everything about his mindset as a player and the way he's mentoring the new players and sees it as his job to do that tells me, put Slay on our staff when he's finished on the field. I think he's another guy you could add him as a color commentator. I'm sure he would. His last presser with the he threw a new Diddy in there, and I don't think anyone was like it just went over their heads. I think Jennifer Slash her post was like she was like using no Diddy in a press conference. Crazy. Crazy.
Rome calling you out for the for rolling down King's Hawaiian rolls.
Yo, I went
loves
on a road
Hawaiian
trip
rolls.
one time, and I came back with a bag of Hawaiian rolls.
I mean, they're banging. Don't get me wrong. I've had them before. They're great.
You and Hawaiian rolls, and then Ev with his damn crunchy beer is wild.
Yeah.
It's like
Speaking of,
random.
that's
speaking
a
of
meal right
banging,
there.
I went to Donkeys
Donkey steaks. Yeah. Which location do you go to?
in Camden.
Okay.
I think that's the best one in my opinion.
That's the OG one. Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
shit was so random. They had like rock music in the middle of Camden. I was like, bro,
Huh?
the bar was
Yeah,
like,
but it lives up to it, right? That was a
Oh.
good cheesesteak.
but I was like,
Donkeys.
I was just like, they don't like. I knew their cheesesteaks had to be good when they had no provolone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had
Yeah.
what they had, and you got to like it regardless. So I went with
Right. Their season is good. Their seasoning.
something.
No
Well, I
diddy.
don't know what they put in the
Diddy.
seasoning, but Donkeys.
Yeah, that's a
Donkeys.
legit cheesesteak, man.
Donkeys and Gitanos.
on the round seeded roll too, not like your normal long roll.
Yeah, but see, that's the difference though with Jersey. Jersey and Philly are different when it comes to the bread because Jersey does seeded bread.
Mm-hmm.
Philly don't do no seeds. Like that is like a no, big no at that.
Yo, they got a T-shirt that says "F the rolls, the long rolls" in Donkeys.
That's Jersey.
It's a steak.
Bro, the people working on the grill, they came off looking like everyone was seasoned in there. Like you could tell the guy was like working there for like years.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, this is gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be good. But yeah, we really just wanted to come on and do a quick emergency pod. We weren't planning this, but very excited to actually do this pod today.
Yeah, for sure.
It's something we've been talking about for weeks, and finally we got it.
Howie, you're the man.
Howie,
I think,
gotta give you your flowers. This is for you.
if you we put out a meme earlier about Eagles' current mood, and all these Eagle fans, opposing fans, telling us that our team is stacked, and yeah, we know, we know, and we're all feeling like Anthony. He said, "Dude, pinch me." Or something. Yo, shout out to Anthony. Anthony, if you look in every single comment in every single platform, whether YouTube, Twitter,
He
IG,
shows up. Yep.
Anthony, or like the Eagles comments on Eagles Live, Anthony is everywhere. Just hey, real ones know.
Hey Anthony, tell me what size shirt you wear. I'm gonna give you a shirt. Appreciate you.
Hey, there you go.
Appreciate you, bro.
Cool.
Oh, Donkeys is better, Dos Santos. What? Yes.
Donkey's better than
Ooh,
It's
ooh.
just I think
Sonny's though.
it's
Sonny's is
different.
good though.
I put Sonny's over Donkeys.
Sonny, yeah. I
But
put
they're all,
Sonny's
bro.
over.
I mean, they're all different, man. It's almost like it's like the super friends of steaks, cheesesteaks. You like there's a
Sonny's is up there, baby.
he said Sonny's is up there.
They are, and Ooey Gooey's is up there too. So I'm a fat kid. Sorry.
Before we get out of here, shout out to Bud Light for holding down all the tailgates. Shout out to Red Bull for giving the tailgate wings. Shout out to Lowski for holding down the tailgates each and every week. And Concha Hawk and Italian Bakery for all the dope ass tomato pies. Shout out to Crafty Jawn for all the dope rope chains. And stop whining, Jesse Wines. If you want graphics, stop whining. Go find Jesse Wines and get some graphic done. Look for him on Instagram at Jesse_Wines for more information about getting graphics. You want graphics? Go to Jesse Wines.
Guy. Yep.
But last word, Tim, before we get out of here.
Howie, you son of a gun. Thank you. I mean, we all knew that this third option wide receiver wasn't on this roster. Now he is. Jahan, dang, bro. A Penn State guy too. And like I said again, guys, if y'all don't know who he is, I'm telling you, last year he had like 10 catches, a $110 on us, and go check out his highlights, bro. He is the perfect fit for this squad. Go Birds, and yo, man, let's cheer together. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, let's go Birds.
Last word.
Yeah, man. Just continuing to sing the praises of Howie Roseman. The dude does it year in and year out. I mean, this Eagles roster, this offense is completely stacked right now. We mentioned earlier in the podcast, this is a roster that should break a record or two. If they have, whether it be individual or team records. I think that this team is Super Bowl bound, and yeah, man, I don't got much else. I'm fucking hyped. I'm pumped for the season. So fly Eagles fly.
Steven asked Gail what was the name of the deli we went to in New Jersey that one time. I totally forgot. It's in that area, but it's another good one. But I'll try to remember it. But overall, if you doubt how he brings to the table, he knows how to work the league. He knows where all the weaknesses are. He knows where the strengths of our team, and obviously he's in tune with where we're at because, you know what I mean? Like every trade that we wanted, he's given to us. We wanted guys like Chauncey back. We got Chauncey back. We wanted linebackers. We got linebackers. Shout out to Devin White. We wanted cornerbacks in the draft. Even guys like Quinyon Mitchell.
Two of them.
We got Quinyon Mitchell.
Cooper DeJean on you, too.
We wanted a little Cooper cheese on there. We got that, too. We wanted Slay back in the day. You got that, too. We wanted Goddard. You gave us that. I mean, Howie, you've been very generous. Now let's just go get the Super Bowl. Let's just go get that Super Bowl. As always, it's fly, Eagles fly. And we'll see you guys in the next one. If I could only just get to the button.
Best trio.
If I only get to the button. Go Birds.